everyone. Adiji, good morning. Yes, this is group 3, and having listened to other groups presented, it appears we are all people of like minds, and everybody is coming up with the regular information. However, we still present our own because we have written it down. Yes, question number 1. What to do to improve science communication in Africa. We say that one major way of improving science communication and disseminate information is through the mass media, whether conventional or new media. Therefore, it is imperative to train journalists from different media outfits, particularly those who report sciences, to enable them have the necessary skill to accurately report issues, including how to interpret and communicate scientific data. With this, they will be better prepared to conduct interviews with scientists, as well as write compelling science-related reports. Yeah, this is essential because, as we said earlier, no one gives what he doesn't have. Just as we explained the situation of an average journalist, most of them don't read. Most of them, though they report sciences, they may not even be able to define what science actually is, or technologies that are necessary are used for science or scientific data or programs. So organizing training, it is very, very essential for them to be able to disseminate your information effectively. If you begin to, think about the fact that they are not working for you alone, that might not yield result. We are talking about how it affects you. So you take time out, just like the huge investments for this program. I can imagine what it takes the organizers to put up this program. It is not because the journalists here report them alone, but because they want to achieve something specific to them. So it is necessary. I know it is quite expensive. Secondly, scientists, especially those in the media department, should also be trained on how to engage or interface with the media. We have been harping on this since this program started. There's need also to train them on how to grant interview and write press releases and respond to media inquiries. Just as we talked about the other time, mapping that we learned. So that one has to do with people who work in these science-related agencies. They themselves also need to be trained. It is not only the journalists that should be trained. For both of them, they work effectively. Every one of us require that kind of training. So both scientists and journalists should try to simplify communication. Yes, when the scientists simplify the language, then the journalist should also try not to use the same scientific language that scientists borrow him or her. So we should try as much as possible to break down, since two of them can interface, and he has the broken down language. So rather than go to the paper or the broadcast organization and begin to use the languages as he was told by the scientists, he should try as much as possible to communicate so that people do not have to use a science dictionary to read the report. Or when they are broadcasting the program, you have to start looking for AI or anything. So if one cannot understand what you are communicating as it does, then most times they will lose the content and the information you intend to pass. Then moving with the time is very, very essential. Before, people were listening to televisions and watching televisions and listening to radio. But we know now that the youths are really not in tune to sitting down to watch television. Even if they have it, they are more interested in TikTok and all this multimedia approach. So if this message, any scientific message that is targeted at the youths, we should try as much as possible to use these platforms that they are in tune with, because they have their own way. They are more in tune to things that are, soft copies. They don't read books. So in the universities, if you really want them to read, you make sure that the material is in soft copy, because they have this phobia for hard copy. They don't want to read at all. So just as someone said here, you translate everything into soft copy and put it That is the reason entertainment, if most of them watch entertainment. If you put CNN or Al Jazeera here that will give them vital information, and put Big Brother Niger, you will discover that 90% of them will listen to Big Brother Niger. They are more in tune to the soft side of life and entertainment. So if you also want to pass serious message, go through that approach, so that they will see it and think that it's all about entertainment, while you subtly, put your content there for them to consume without actually knowing that they are reading. I said that, so to sell important messages, there is need to consider other communication channels such as theater for development, TikTok, infographics, jingles, and several other channels. Yeah, theater for development, somebody tried to explain it here. You want a community to imbibe a particular thing, to accept your position. So most times you try this approach, drama, So and that drama, they will be part of the cast, so that their people will be seeing them and be laughing while you are passing your messages. Buy them Coke, Fanta, they will be drinking, and you'll be passing your message. Yeah, so this should be done also regularly for a period, to the extent that the message permeates their heart, and do a content, so that the message permeates their heart and it becomes a kind of household name. Whatever message you're trying to pass, over time they become so used to it, just as they are used to Indomie advert and all those stuff. Thank you. So question number 2, effective outreach. Yes, one is engaging local farmers directly in the language that they understand, and give them opportunities also to ask pertinent questions. You should be sincere in your approach. If you know that this, if you plant one corn, genetically modified corn or high yield corn, it is going to produce 1 bag. Don't tell them it's going to produce 2, because by the time they test what you have said and it is not true, every other thing you have tried to build will be destroyed. And once they create their own impression about you, it is going to be difficult to change that. Then engaging traditional and the religious leaders is another one. If you are able to catch these people, we know that most times when they stand on the pulpit or when they are preaching in a mosque, they bring up certain messages. And there are people who see these people as their gods. So anything they say to them, they believe it without doubt. So that is another stronger weapon. Then getting policymakers to understand the benefits and the safety of every scientific process is necessary, or technology. Such collaborations will facilitate enactment of enabling laws in this direction and reduce gullibility among government officials. If there is no adequate engagement, they may pitch their own tent with those who oppose your process or your technology. Yeah, we remember when they brought up Senator Olujimi brought up the issue of gender empowerment bill. The very first day they presented that bill, you can imagine, the title, gender equality. Nigerian men thought that when you say gender equality, it means that their wives are now equal with them. Because Olujimi did not carry out necessary lobbying and education or awareness creation about what equality, gender equality means. They felt that once that bill is passed, one day their women will ask them to go to farm and or go to market and cook. So they say over their dead body with such a bill, see the light of day, and they quickly threw the bill out. It is because necessary awareness was not carried out before such a communication came up. Then one other strategy or tool is the ability to break down science communication into native languages of the people. Here, the scientists can engage with natives to see how they can create. People have been able to create words where it does not exist, even in English or sciences. Yes, like our handset. Igbo people have name for handset. We know that handset is recent technology. It was not there in the dictionary earlier, but even then, every tribe was able to create name for handset. If you look at, I remember Chinua Achebe in those days, the way they describe bicycle. The first time the natives saw bicycle, they were quick to give name to a bicycle. They call it an inigwe, that is an iron horse. They knew that horses move in that direction, but this particular horse has iron. So they quickly turned bicycle to iron horse, and the people use that language. So adopting these native languages in science and technology will help them to understand faster and the better what the agencies or, or the scientists are trying, the message they are trying to pass through. There's also need for radio programs where people can be compelled. So, okay, this radio program, all these talk in radio programs. See, if you are able to coin these words for your community, for these science technologies or process, you will get incentives. You will be amazed the way people will sit down, create names. So these names will become their own, so that wherever you are communicating these issues with them, you adopt such names. So the last one here is town hall meeting, which I think is very, very effective as a strategy, because it brings together trade associations, even petty traders, farmers, and all classes of people. This forum also enables people to air their views. Let us take this issue of hybrid. People don't know the difference between the hybrid and genetically modified products, even the technologies involved, and even the safety. So they would be talking in the village that, just like the polio medication or vaccine that time, that they told the people that when they take it, they will no longer produce children. So they resisted it with every strength in them. But when they started the awareness creation process, all those falsehood, conspiracy theories just died down naturally, to the extent that they started accepting the vaccination, and Nigeria was declared at a time polio-free. So this is a very veritable platform to inform people about all these processes and technologies and the safety of it, to the extent that they will know that it does not hold any harm for the people, and they will be able to accept it. Thank you.